Ahead of the Lok Sabha election results, the India bloc has urged the Election Commission to prioritize the counting of postal ballots before finalizing the results from the EVMs. Now, this call comes in light of changes made to the EC's guidelines in 2019. So, here's what this means. The opposition expressed concerns about the 2019 change in guidelines for counting postal ballots. Previously, postal ballots were counted first, with EVM counting starting 30 minutes later and only concluding once all postal ballots were tallied. Now, according to the EC's Handbook for Counting Agents in February 2019 was, and I quote, "Under no circumstances should the results of all the rounds of the EVM counting be announced before finalizing the postal ballot counting." However, the new guidelines state that postal ballot counting begins 30 minutes before EVM counting and does not need to be completed before the EVM counting finishes. Now, this adjustment was made due to the increase in postal ballots, particularly after the introduction of the electronically transmitted postal ballot system and the mandatory counting of VVPAT slips from 5 randomly selected polling stations per assembly constituency. In a 2019 directive to all chief electoral officers, the EC removed the guideline that the penultimate round of EVM counting should be delayed until postal ballots are fully counted. Now, EVM counting can continue regardless of the postal ballot counting stage. Once EVM counting is complete, VVPAT slips can be counted. The rules for recounting postal ballots were also revised. Previously, recounting was mandatory if the margin of victory was less than total number of postal ballots. But now only rejected postal ballots are re-verified if the margin is smaller than the number of such ballots. During the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, 22.7 lakh postal ballots were received, accounting for 0.37% of the 60.76 crore valid votes. The number of postal ballots is expected to be higher this time due to the inclusion of service voters, essential service workers, seniors, over 85 persons with disabilities and COVID-19 patients. The 2023 Handbook for Counting Agents says, and I quote, "After 30 minutes of commencement of postal ballot counting, the EVM counting can start and continue irrespective of the stage of postal ballot counting. Once the EVM counting is completed, the VVPAT slip counting can also start." Now, the India bloc has requested the EC to revert to the previous guidelines and adhere to Rule 54A of the Conduct of Election Rules 1961, which states, and I quote, "The returning officer shall first deal with the postal ballot papers." For more updates on Lok Sabha elections 2024 and news across the globe, keep watching the Indian Express.